welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And hi, I'm Rainbow.
And today we are going to begin a very interesting two-part article titled From Space to Your Home, Common Items Invented by NASA.
NASA is such a mysterious organization to us here in Taiwan. Growing up, we probably just have watched movies that we associated with space, like E.T., and like space shuttles and like watching clips of people sending things to the moon. We don't really know that much about what goes on, but what I do know is that it's involved with a lot of discovery and inventions of technology that we use every day.
Okay, NASA, of course, when we talk about it, is an American government group. The NASA stands for National Aeronautics and Space Administration. These are the people who sent rockets to the moon, put Neil Armstrong and Apollo 11 on the moon, and of course sent up the space shuttle in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. And now they're a big part of the International Space Station. So there are a lot of smart people, a lot of engineers, a lot of scientists. Astronauts, of course, who are the most famous people. And along with making rockets and going to the moon, they've invented a lot of very interesting things that came from their world into our world.
Ooh.
So that's the kind of thing we're going to be talking about.
Very exciting.
The beginning of this article, the only thing that I can think of as a common item invented by NASA, and I know this because I've eaten it, space ice cream.
Whoa.
Yeah. Flash frozen dry ice cream.
Whoa.
If you go to a NASA place like in Florida where they launch the rockets, or in Texas in the Johnson Space Center, I believe, where they build a lot of the rockets, you can also buy a little silver packet, and inside is this dry stuff, and it's supposed to be ice cream.
Amazing.
You put it in your mouth and it kind of melts and it tastes like ice cream. I don't think that's the only thing we're going to be learning about today, and hopefully most of the things we'll be learning about these common items or things we use that were invented by NASA. Hopefully most of them are more impressive and more important than space ice cream. Let's get into the article to find out. You have almost certainly heard of NASA, the American agency that is famous for sending astronauts to space and exploring the unknown. However, what you may not have realized is that NASA has actually developed many technologies we use in our daily lives. From increasing comfort to improving photos, NASA's inventions have made life better for everyone, not just astronauts. All right, so yes, our title is From Space to Your Home, Common Items Invented by NASA. So these would be things that we use all the time in our normal lives, but their origin, where they first were created and used, was in the space program, the American space program, of course, invented by the good, smart people over at NASA. So let's find out which common items came to us from space.
You have almost certainly heard of NASA, the American agency that is famous for sending astronauts to space and exploring the unknown. However, what you may not have realized is that NASA has actually developed many technologies we use in our daily lives.
Yeah, absolutely true. Of course, a lot of the things we use in our daily lives come from interesting places. I mean, many things are invented in wartime, and then they become common. Radar, the internet, invented by the military. A lot of the things in our cars were first used in F1 racing and things like that. So there are engineers and scientists, they do this work for very special reasons, and then they find lots of ways of using these discoveries. So let's look at what came from space, from increasing comfort to improving photos. NASA's inventions have made life better for everyone, not just astronauts. A lot of those things were invented for astronauts in the first place, but as we said, over many years, they became much more common and became available to us normal, non-astronaut people. Things that might make our comfort much more enjoyable and better. What is comfort? Do you know the word comfortable? When you sit down and your body feels good and relaxed and everything feels nice in your physical body. That is feeling comfortable. That is comfort. So when we buy things that are comfortable, we are buying those things for comfort. Think of your bed. Think of a chair. Think of some shoes that you can walk around in all day long and your feet never hurt. Those shoes are designed for comfort. Hopefully your bed is designed for comfort. Otherwise, you might choose to sleep on the floor. And of course, warm clothes when it's a cold day. Those will give you warmth and comfort. For example, this hotel room was designed with comfort in mind. A nice soft bed, a nice big sofa, thick carpet under your feet to make your toes feel good. All of that nice stuff.
And NASA has many different inventions that we use in our daily lives. And invention is a noun. The verb is invent. That means to come up with something that has never existed before. You're taking some technology, some creative ideas, and putting it together into a thing that can be used in the real world. An invention, like car is an invention, airplane, phones. These are things that have never existed before they existed. The Science Museum contains many inventions from the 19th century. These are creations that were made by people who combine technology and intelligence and good ideas and research into things that are helpful for us or things that are just fun that exist out there in the world.
Interesting, like Alexander Graham Bell's telephone or Thomas Edison's light bulb. There you go. Let's take a break and we'll be back with the first of these wonderful inventions from NASA.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。同学们应该都有听过 NASA 美国航太总署。那这个美国政府机构负责太空计划与研究，送太空人到太空探索未知的领域。不过，其实这个机构也跟我们的生活息息相关哦。他们开发了许多日常生活中使用的技术，从提高舒适度到改善照片品质都有。那我们这2天就要来看看美国航太总署发明的日用品。好，先来看单字 comfort。comfort 当名词，它表示舒适或是慰藉，它是个不可数名词。Invention 这个字当可数名词是表达发明物，它当不可数名词则是表达发明创造的意思。那 Mike 老师有提到说，不少物品是在战争时期发明的。老师说的 wartime 就是战时的意思，是个名词。那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，这边我们来整理 the 加上形容词的不同意义。首先，第一种，它可以用来构成抽象名词，表达什么什么的事物或情况，要视为单数。像 the unknown 就是未知的事物 ，the impossible 表示不可能的事 ，the unreal 表示非现实的事。举例来说 ，the impossible is only possible if you try。只有尝试才会让不可能的事变得有可能。那第二个意思可以用来形成普通名词，表达具有什么样的特性、属性的人，这通常会视为复数。像 the wounded 表示伤者 ，the poor 穷人 ，the rich 富人。例如 ，she devoted herself to helping the poor。她致力于帮助贫困的人。好，这句话课文中。
Memory foam. One of the most well-known NASA inventions is memory foam. NASA first created memory foam in the 1960s to provide better padding for its pilots. This material is soft and able to return to its original shape when pressure is lifted. Today, memory foam is used in beds, pillows, and even shoes. It provides extra comfort and support to countless people around the world. Cordless vacuums. Did you know that the cordless vacuum you use at home has roots in space technology? NASA developed cordless battery-operated tools for astronauts to collect samples from the moon's surface. This technology was later used to create other cordless tools, including cordless vacuum cleaners. All right, so let's get into our first big space invention, thanks from the people at NASA. What is it? Memory foam. What is exactly memory foam? It says one of the most well-known NASA inventions is memory foam. So a lot of people might know that this came from NASA. It says NASA first created memory foam in the 1960s, back at the beginning of the American space program. Why? To provide better padding for its pilots. Pilots. I believe they were called astronauts. But yes, they were also pilots before they became astronauts. And really, an astronaut is just a pilot in space.
A pilot is somebody who drives the plane, and they have professional training. Often they have to have very good vision so that they can keep the vehicle safe. And there's a lot of practice before they can safely go up into the air. And it's actually the dream of a lot of little boys to be able to grow up and fly a plane. And girls.
Sure.
When I'm older, I want to be a pilot and fly all over the world.
Okay.
I wanted to sit on the plane and have a pilot fly me over the world.
That would be pretty nice too, if you could pay for your own plane and your own pilot. So yes, if you're flying a plane or a helicopter, we would also use that. But of course, anything on the ground, like a car or a train, we would call that a driver, not a pilot. But technically, I think a pilot in space for the Americans would be an astronaut, and for the Russians, it would be a cosmonaut. Astronaut meaning star traveler or star voyager. Sounds cooler than pilot. But a lot of them were pilots in the American Air Force and Navy before they went to space. So what exactly is memory foam, and why was it so nice for these pilots or astronauts?
This material is soft and able to return to its original shape when pressure is lifted. So it kind of shapes according to your body, and it kind of goes back to the original one. So it is a shield for your body in a way.
Okay, because yeah, some pillows and stuff with feathers inside, they just kind of stay down when you get up, right? They don't kind of blow up again and come back to their original shape. So that kind of makes it more comfortable. When we say original, we mean the one at the beginning or the first one, all right? So if you come up with a plan, that's your original plan, but then your friend says, hey, why don't we do this instead? Then you change the plan from the original or the first one that came along. For example, my mom was the original owner of this house. So the house was built and my mom bought the house, and then maybe she sold it to other people. Other people lived there, but my mom was the first. She was the original owner. So memory foam was used to keep the bums and backs and necks and heads of pilots comfortable back in their spaceships in the 1960s. What about today? Well, today memory foam is used in beds, pillows, and even shoes, keeping your toes comfortable, just like a little astronaut. It provides extra comfort and support to countless people around the world. And I think generally, if you go out to buy a pillow in the store these days, I would say most of them probably have memory foam. So there you go, a very successful invention, thanks to the good folks over at NASA. What's our second one?
Ooh, cordless vacuums. Have you heard of those before?
Sure, cordless vacuums. That little thing that you can use to pick up dust or crumbs or something. And it's cordless. You don't plug it in.
Yeah, which saves a lot of, it's a lot more convenient because you just want to clean some small spaces.
A small space,
You have to walk around with a wire.
Okay, so How did it come to us from space?
Yeah, did you know that the cordless vacuum you use at home has roots in space technology? NASA developed cordless battery-operated tools for astronauts to collect samples from the moon's surface.
Wow.
Wow, I guess because you couldn't plug in anything, right? So you had to have it charged in the space shuttle and then come out and just have electricity operating.
Right, or even more difficult, charged in the lunar lander, that thing that actually landed on the moon, that of course had a few batteries in there to keep the lights working and the air pumping. But they didn't have extra power, and of course these astronauts were traveling sometimes hundreds of meters or even kilometers from where they landed on the moon. They can't plug it in back there and have a long wire so that they can operate this vacuum far away. When you operate something, basically you use a machine. You work the machine, you get the machine to do its job, you push the buttons, you know what the machine can do, and you know how to control it. So if you're operating a car, you're driving the car, controlling the speed and things like that. If you're operating a computer, you're probably using a mouse or a keyboard or something like that. Anytime you need to use a machine, if you don't know how to operate it, you probably can't use the machine very well. Let's talk about James. James knows how to operate the new coffee machine. I often don't. They have weird things and steam and water and I don't know how to operate this. Can someone else make me a coffee?
Agreed. This technology was later used to create other cordless tools, including cordless vacuum cleaners.
Well, okay. Cordless drills, right? You can use those around your house. You don't have to plug them in. Many of these machines back in the 1960s all had to be plugged in to electricity from the wall or somewhere, but it was cordless. You could operate it or use it anywhere you wanted, even on the moon. Very, very cool. All right, guys, we're gonna have more great NASA inventions straight from space to your home tomorrow. So please fly your rocket ships back and join us for that. Bye-bye.
Bye.
我们来看看 NASA 最有名的发明之一就是记忆泡棉 （memory foam）。他们是在1960年代制造了记忆泡棉，为飞行员提供更好的衬垫。那这种材质柔软，并且在压力移除后，它可以恢复原来的形状。如今，记忆泡棉它被用在床铺啊、枕头，甚至是鞋子上，为世界各地的人提供更多的舒适和支撑。Rainbow 老师这时候有用到一个名词是 shield。shield 可以指屏障、保护物，或者是有盾牌的意思。再来看单字 pilot 表示飞行员或者是船舶的领航员。那补充一下 ，Mike 老师这时候提到 astronaut 是太空人，那么 cosmonaut 则是指前苏联的宇航员、太空人。下一个单字 original 它是形容起初的、原先的、最早的。那它的副词 originally 可以表达起初、原本的意思。好，那第二个介绍的发明物是无线真空吸尘器。NASA 为太空人开发了电池供电的无线工具，以采集月球表面的样本。那这项技术后来就被用来创造出其他的无线工具，包括无线真空吸尘器。好，文中它用到复合形容词 battery operated， 是表达说用电池供电的。那么这个单字 operate 它就有运转、操作的意思。那另外老师们有提到 space shuttle 就是指太空梭， lunar lander 则是指月球着陆器。好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习动词 provide 是指提供、给予。我们要表达提供某人某事物的话，可以用到下列的句型，就是 provide something to somebody 或是 for somebody， 也可以用 provide somebody with something， 这边就要注意介系词的不同。例如 They provided a lot of useful information to us， 也可以说 They provided us with a lot of useful information， 他们为我们提供了许多有用的资讯。好，那么以上这节讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
You have almost certainly heard of NASA, the American agency that is famous for sending astronauts to space and exploring the unknown. However, what you may not have realized is that NASA has actually developed many technologies we use in our daily lives. From increasing comfort to improving photos, NASA's inventions have made life better for everyone, not just astronauts. Memory foam. One of the most well-known NASA inventions is memory foam. NASA first created memory foam in the 1960s to provide better padding for its pilots. This material is soft and able to return to its original shape when pressure is lifted. Today, memory foam is used in beds, pillows, and even shoes. It provides extra comfort and support to countless people around the world. Cordless vacuums. Did you know that the cordless vacuum you use at home has roots in space technology? NASA developed cordless battery-operated tools for astronauts to collect samples from the moon's surface. This technology was later used to create other cordless tools, including cordless vacuum cleaners.
Hey, it's Kiwi on the street.
I'm Kiki.
I'm Winnie.
Winnie, you're really spoiling the mood. What's wrong with you?
Well, I haven't had anything to eat all day and now it's upsetting me.
Upsetting you. So you're hangry?
What's hangry?
You're hungry and angry.
You know what? Yeah, I am hangry.
Well, we gotta work on our portmanteaus and then I gotta find Winnie. Winnie!
Let's work on some portmanteaus. Our first one of the date is glamping.
Glamp and ing. Camping.
Okay, camping, but if I add a GL instead of a C, it's a different type of camping.
Glam. Camping. Glass.
Camping, glamorous.
Ding, ding, ding. So we have glamorous camping. Okay, next we have staycation.
Vacation.
Okay, vacation, very good.
Stay.
Location.
Stop.
Do you?
Stay.
Okay, stay.
Vacation.
Yes, very good. What have we learned today? Time to work on some portmanteaus. A portmanteau is when you combine two words to make a new one. Our first portmanteau is glamping. So what two words make up glamping? Of course it is glamorous and camping. So when something is glamorous, that means something is very fancy. You could think of a very glamorous Hollywood star who's very beautiful and very fancy. So what does glamping mean? We have our usual camping, which means maybe going outside, pitching a tent, and roasting some marshmallows over the fire. Nothing too fancy. But when we add the word glamorous, that means you are having a little bit more comfort. Then we have our second portmanteau, which is staycation. Staycation. Of course, we have the word stay, which is very obvious at the front of the word, but then we have the word vacation at the back. So we have the cation part of vacation. So when we are using the word staycation, we're talking about taking a break, but instead of flying somewhere or going somewhere very far to travel there and have a vacation, we're staying where we are. So maybe we are in the same city we live in, but we book a hotel room. That's all we have for today. Kiwi later.